We always believed in the Las Vegas dream until we lived it. We watched Vegas change a lot over the years. First as wide-eyed visitors, and now as people who actually call this place home. And what we learned changed how we'll see this city forever. And especially now, when Vegas is in a real slump. Fewer visitors, less spending. Many are quietly wondering, what happened? Well, this video isn't about blaming Vegas. We still love this place, but it's also a place that doesn't always tell you the full story. Now, what started as pure excitement slowly turned into this nagging feeling that something was off. At first, we thought it was just us. Maybe at the time, we just didn't get how Vegas really works. But the deeper we went, the more we realized there are things people don't talk about. Things we wish someone had told us before we ever booked that first trip. It took years and a lot of mistakes to see what Vegas really is behind all the lights. And once we saw it, we couldn't unsee it. So if you've ever wondered whether the Vegas dream still holds up in 2025, or if you've ever felt that maybe something about your trip just didn't sit right, you're not alone. And we're gonna show you why. Oh, and by the way, if you're finding this helpful, we'd love it if you hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. We're on a mission to hit 300,000 subscribers, and your support truly means the world to us, and we thank you. We bought into it. The shows, the pools, the rooms with strip views. Every ad promises luxury, freedom, excitement, and we wanted all of it. We weren't reckless. We thought we were being smart, budgeting our days, picking good deals, planning ahead. But here's the thing about Vegas. When they're talking about a win, they're usually talking about their own bottom line. Vegas plays the long game. They know that once you're on property, you're committed, and the fees will eventually outweigh any perceived savings you found online. Now, it doesn't always hit you the first time, or even the second, but the cracks, they start showing up. Little things at first, like the room, $45, suddenly ballooning to $100 after fees. A resort fee that is now up to $55 per night at some major hotels like the Venetian and Aria. Non-negotiable, and not including in the original price. Plus, a security deposit that can eat up $100 to $200 of your budget before you even see your room. That sinking feeling when your deal wasn't really a deal. And we still come back because the dream is powerful, and for a while it feels real. We used to think it was just bad luck, like that time we almost waited an hour, and at some big resorts guests have waited 3 hours just to check into their room, only to be told it wasn't ready yet. The problem is so common that half-hour waits are now considered a win by seasoned visitors. Or the show tickets that cost more with fees than the seats were worth. You're not paying for the ticket, you're paying the convenience fee, the venue fee, the facility fee, and the tax on the fees. I mean, it's a guaranteed 15 to 20% hidden markup on every entertainment purchase. But over time, it stopped feeling like bad luck and started feeling like this was just Vegas now. And the truth is, you're not crazy if something felt off during your last trip. You know, staffing shortages have stretched thin across the strip, even at the big resort. With union wages finally rising in 2024 and 2025, many resorts have quietly reduced the number of staff per guest. So as prices have gone up, service has quietly but measurably gone down across the board. There's this unspoken rule now that frustration is part of the Vegas experience. And the worst part is, by the time you realize it, you're already here. It's the moment when the magic dims. But not because you wanted it to, but because you started seeing it clearly. You learned pretty fast that there's a whole second layer to Vegas. The part they don't advertise, like the invisible fees, not just the resort fees, which can now be $55 before tax, but the tax on the fee. The Nevada hotel tax rate means you're paying about 13% extra on the mandatory resort fee. A tax on a tax. Then we get to parking. At most major properties, that's now a standard about $25 per day for self-parking. But the real game changer is the room. So they give you a quote-unquote fridge, but it's a sensory weapon. Sticking your own bottle of water in the minibar fridge, well, that can trigger a $50 to $75 fee for tampering. Now, some guests have even reportedly been charged $50 for simply unplugging the minibar to charge a laptop. And if you think valet makes it easier, surprise, that's often up to $40 or $50 per day at a high-end property. So that convenience fee is now a luxury tax. And then there's the tipping pressure. Now, we don't mind giving a great tip when we get good service, but now there are digital screens that ask for a 30% tip for a bottled water, a coffee you poured yourself, or even a self-checkout kiosk. I mean, you need a roll of $1 bills just to make it through the day without the constant guilt trip screens. But the ultimate unseen rule is on the casino floor. The $10 and $15 blackjack tables on the strip haven't just raised their minimum to $25. They changed the game itself. itself. So the gold standard 3-2 blackjack payouts have been quietly replaced by the player-unfriendly 6-5 payouts on most low-limit tables. I mean, this single rule change increased the house edge by over 1.5% and cost the average player hundreds of dollars a trip. I mean, Vegas runs on rules that nobody tells you. They're hidden in the fine print on the minibar and written on the casino felt in a language most players don't speak. Y'all, Vegas isn't built on luck. It's built on knowing the rules. If you don't know that 6-5 blackjack is a trap or that your hotel fridge will charge you, the house has already won $150 before you even get your first drink. Now, we used to think penny slots were the safe way to play. Like budget friendly, fun, maybe we've stretched $20 for a while, right? But not long ago, we sat down at a penny slot and lost $500 faster than we ever have on anything. And the reason is clear. Penny slots have the highest house hedge on any machine in the casino. So while $5 slots might hold 4%, penny slots hold nearly 10% for every dollar played. The truth? Penny slots aren't cheaper. They're just sneakier. They're designed to look cheap, but every bonus line, every feature, every multiplier, all of it raises the minimum spend. So you think you're betting pennies, but it's actually $5 a spin. If you want all the bonuses, you may have to bet max. And guess what kind of machines have the highest house edge in the entire casino? Yup, the ones that say 1 cent on the screen. So the Nevada Gaming Control Board data confirms it. Penny slots are the tightest by far, holding nearly 10 cents out of every dollar you feed them. All right, if the house edge didn't get you, this will. Because the biggest game Vegas is quietly winning is, of course, in the slots. This is the silent killer of your bankroll, and we got the official, undeniable data to prove it. So Nevada doesn't require casinos to publicly post the payback percentage on their machines. But if you look at the research from the UNLV Center for Gaming Research, the long-term trend confirms what every frustrated player feels. Slot machines are getting measurably tighter. Statewide, the slot hold percentage, that's the amount of every dollar the house keeps, has gone up 26% over the last 2 decades. But the real offense is downtown. And since 2004, the hold in downtown Las Vegas has increased by a staggering 39%. Yup, this is the long-term scam that's bleeding players dry. It means you get less time on the machines for the same amount of money, which accelerates your losses over time, especially downtown. And get used to it. This is the new normal. Every shiny new slot is designed to capitalize on this lack of transparency. And when you step back, it's not really about winning. It's about how long they can keep you playing, how long they can keep you chasing that feeling. They want that bonus to hit just often enough to keep your brain hooked. It's not an accident, it's science. And here's the biggest lie, that it's about fun. It's not for the casinos anyway. It's about your wallet. So question for you, have you ever felt like the game changed when you weren't looking? Let us know in the comments. Now, we love a good meal, but food on the strip? Well, let's become its own gamble. That $24.99 buffet from back in the day? Try $89.99 for dinner on a holiday weekend, or even $70 on a standard Saturday night. The buffet, once a symbol of Vegas value, is now a high-end experience that requires a reservation and often comes with an hour-long wait. So we once saw a burger. No caviar, no truffle, no gold leaf, just a regular burger for $58. And fries? Extra, of course. Cocktails that used to be $12 are now $32. And that's for a simple drink at a mid-tier bar. And if you're at a high-end club or celebrity chef lounge, well, specialty drinks are routinely $40 to $50. Plus tax, plus tip, plus a convenience fee. And look, if you've been watching us over the years, you know we're foodies. We're happy to splurge on something amazing. But when a simple lunch on the strip crosses $100 for 2 people, no wine, no dessert, just lunch, you start to realize the goal isn't to delight you with food. The goal is to maximize the revenue per guest per minute. The longer you're here, the more likely you are to buy that $45 cocktail. And menus are now filled with mandatory surcharges. I mean, you see venue fee, kitchen fee, or BOH, back of house service charge. This mandatory fee, often 3% to 5% of your total bill, is added before tax and before you calculate your tip. It's not a tip. It's just another hidden cost of dining. You want to eat well in Vegas? Well, you need a strategy now, because otherwise you'll end up broke and hangry. But, and this is a big but, there are still places worth it. Still hidden gems. Still mom and pop spots and secret menus and off-strip steals, if you know where to look. Well, we're giving away our free guide to our 50 favorite cheap and value restaurants in Las Vegas for 2025. All you have to do is sign up to our newsletter using the link in the description below. So make sure you're subscribed for that one and stop getting ripped off on the Strip. Deals are getting harder to find, and this list will help you save money while finding real hidden gems you'll actually want to eat at. But it's not just the food that'll catch you off guard, it's how fast you can burn out here. I mean, there are no clocks, no windows. That's design 101, but the tactics go deeper. So most casino floors are specifically laid out in a complex maze-like pattern. You're focused to walk past dozens of games to reach the restroom, the exit, or even the restaurant. They call it labyrinth design. It keeps you disoriented and keeps the machines visible. Yup, just the whir of machines, the bright hum of overheated lights. The atmosphere is manufactured too, so they pump in cold, fresh air and sometimes specific scents. The cool temperature, often set around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, is intentional. It keeps you awake, alert, and gambling longer, especially after you've accepted their complimentary drinks. Now, the constant soundscapes with big wind, jingles, and soft music is engineered to keep your energy up and suppress any thought of sleep. We thought we'd come to Vegas to make memories, but sometimes we just lost track of ourselves. And let me tell you, it's easy. You land at 10 a.m., you blink, and it's midnight. Then 2 a.m., then 5. It's not just a physical space. It's a mental state called the machine zone. Anthropologists call it this: a deeply focused, trance-like state caused by the repetitive input of the games. So in the machine zone, the goals shift from winning to simply continuing to play, and your senses of time, space, and monetary value all disappear. That's the part they never show you. Not the jackpots or the steak dinners, but the blurry middle. The part where your body's still in Vegas, but your sense of time isn't. You're physically and mentally drained, not by fun, but by sophisticated intentional design. But funny enough, that's also where we start to see a different Vegas. A quieter one that doesn't shout, doesn't sell, and doesn't dazzle. We are definitely not saying don't go to Vegas. First, if it's your very first time, you have to stay on the Strip to see the spectacle. You need to experience the chaos. But for repeat visitors, the game changes. You need a defensive strategy now. Just go with your eyes open. I mean, we wish someone had told us these things. The real money-saving hacks that fight the hidden fees. And this is the most important rule. Always use your player's card, even if you only play for 10 minutes. It doesn't track your losses. It tracks your theoretical play. Even a small amount of action can get you comp-free self-parking, which saves you $25 a day. Never pay for parking on the Strip again if you can help it. Oh, and forget the myth of the cheap off-Strip hotel. Many of the local station casinos and large resorts are just as expensive now. Instead, focus on value spots you can commute from, like South Point on the South End, or hunt for deals midweek on the Strip itself. I mean, deals still exist, but you have to check competitive price screens every single morning. And don't let the drink prices bleed you dry. So that $40 specialty cocktail, that's a trap. Instead, seek out those incredible casino happy hours. You could totally find $10 premium cocktails and half-price appetizers at places like the Arts District or even mid-strip bars. That's how locals survive. The good old envelope system is essential. So bring your daily gambling budget in cash. But remember, that cash budget should also cover tipping and food costs. So when you physically pull out that last $20, it makes each decision more intentional, more real. It fights the machine zone and keeps you grounded. It's not about the win, it's about the memory and the value. So you want to maximize your comps, the free rooms, the waive fees, and free buffets. So the house is trying to extract. You need to focus on earning back what you can. That's the real insider game. So what's the truth behind the Vegas dream? Well, it's that the dream is still real, but only if you stop buying what they're selling and start treating your player's card, your budget, and your sanity like the most important jackpot of all. Vegas didn't change. We did. We stopped letting the house call all the shots on what fun is supposed to look like. And honestly, that might be the biggest win of all, because somewhere along the way, Vegas got a little too greedy. The fees, the prices, the way they try to squeeze every last dollar. It's starting to backfire. People are noticing, and now Vegas is scrambling to get folks back in the door. So whether you're planning your first trip or your 50th, just remember, the best way to win in Vegas is to know what game you're actually playing. And the best moments, they're usually the ones that happen when you step off the path they want you to follow. Hey, if this helped you see Vegas a little differently, or you've had your own "they lied to me" moment, well, drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And if you're planning a trip soon, we've linked our free restaurant list below, plus more tips coming every week. All right, y'all, and we'll see you in the next one.